Tigers baseball on Fox Sports Detroit is presented by Bell Tire. The Tigers' Victor Martinez is one of the hottest hitters in the American League right now. Victor riding a 13-game hitting streak in which he's batting .453. I would say that's hot. So is the weather here in downtown Detroit. Beautiful night for baseball. We're at Comerica Park this evening, Game 1, featuring the Tigers and the Texas Rangers. Hi again, everyone, and welcome to Tigers Baseball. Mario and Pemba, Ron Allen, glad to have you with us here for the start of the 3-game weekend set against the Rangers. Hopefully a bounce-back series for the Tigers after dropping 2 out of 3 against the Chicago White Sox. Victor Martinez, Rod, what more can we say about him? This is the Victor we were waiting for.
You know, he's playing with a tremendous amount of confidence right now. When the calendar turned to July, he has gotten busy. He has 20 hits in the month of July, which is the most in the American League, and he is playing like he performed for this team back in 2011.
How about Adrian Beltre? He is equally as hot for the Texas Rangers.
Oh, no doubt about that. This Rangers team plays real good baseball away from their home ballpark in Texas. They have the best road record in the American League at 20-16, and this guy just gets it done for them. That would be Adrian Beltre, tremendous two-way player. He's got power to left field, not a whole lot of power to right field. Tigers need to force him into hitting the ball the opposite way. He was the starting third baseman last year at the All-Star game. He didn't make the squad this year, at least up until this point. He might still get added, but this guy is a leader in the clubhouse. He's a leader on the field. He is a tremendous third baseman.
All right, after a short break, we'll send you back to the Call Sam Studios and join Shannon Hogan. Coming up here tonight, the Tigers looking to exact some revenge. Rangers beat down 3 out of 4 in Arlington back in May. It's Game 1 here in Detroit. Tigers-Rangers next. Tigers and the Texas Rangers get together here in game one in this series. The Tigers will have Doug Fister on the mound. He is presented by Family Heating, Cooling, and Electrical.
And Doug Fister trying to get back on track. He has not won in his last 4 starts, and his earned run average is over 7.5. Excuse me. That is not Doug Fister. Probably the toughest stretch we've seen him in a Tigers uniform.
Well, they'll try and get things straightened out here tonight. Kinsler will be the first batter to face him. The Texas Rangers in town to start a 3-game weekend set. And Kinsler batting .287 will start things off for the Rangers. Fister is set to go to work, and so are we. The first pitch of tonight's ball game is a strike call. Kinsler 9 homers, 36 RBIs, has power out of that leadoff slot. A couple of times in his career he's already hit over 30 homers in a season. Stands in waiting on the 0-1. Here it is. Strike called, and the count quickly 0-2 on Kinsler.
Talking to Jeff Jones before the game today, and I was asking him what the issues were with Fister in his last 4 starts, and he said not from the windup, but from the stretch. He has been rushing too much. Therefore, his pitches have not had a lot of movement on him. Therefore, he has not had much success.
Fister giving up 3 runs in 3 of his, 6 runs in 3 of his last 4 starts.
Not giving up tons of hits, but somehow they've been able to rack up 6 runs in 3 of the last 4 outings.
1 ball, 2 strikes on Kinsler. And he swings and grounds one foul, third base side. Well, 7, 7, and 6 in the hit column. So you're right. I mean, he hadn't had a tremendous amount of base runners. He did have 3 walks in that start against Cleveland. That was on Sunday. And again, the 1-2. Kinsler fouls it off, hit it twice, as a matter of fact. 1-2, the count stays.
And Fister in his last outing gave up home runs. He also gave up a couple of stolen bases, which is nearly impossible to do against Fister, but the Cleveland Indians were running. And you mentioned the fact that he walked 3, and he's very, very stingy.
Rangers come in second place in the West, 53 victories this year. Tigers have won 50 games. And a swing and a miss. He was out in front. That's how we start this one tonight. 1 gone. The rest of the lineup for the Rangers, presented by the Metro Detroit Chevy dealers. You saw Kinsler. He's followed by Murphy and Cruz. Beltre batting cleanup. Pierzynski catching. Andrus at short. Then a bottom 3 of Moreland, Profar, and Leonis Martin.
And a good curveball and a good sign here for Fister, who gives up a better than .320 batting average to right-handed batters this year. He's been able to contain lefties, but he's had some issues with the right-handed hitters.
Well, here's a lefty, and David Murphy, who is the designated hitter tonight. He also provides some pop out of that 2 spot of the lineup with 10 home runs. The 0-1 is lifted in the air toward left. Dirk started back, and now staring into the sunlight, records out number 2.
And Beaumont Health System will sponsor the Tigers starting defense this evening. It is Dirks in left, Austin Jackson in center, Hunter he's in right, Peralta and Santiago are up the middle, Fielder and Cabrera on the corners, and Alex Avila is the catcher this evening.
Here is Nelson Cruz. He'll bat with the bases empty. Cruz right now a 7-game hitting streak, but against the Tigers this year, just 3 for 15.
Nelson Cruz also an all-star this year. They only have 2. He and Joe Nathan, their closer.
Well, I guess it's a shame that Beltre's not on the team, batting over 300 with 20 home runs, 53 RBIs, but third base a very, very deep position this year. 1-0 is tipped into the glove. 1-1.
That seems to happen to someone every single year.
There is Beltre waiting his turn on deck. 2 of the hottest hitters in the league in this game, Beltre and Martinez. There's a strike on the outer edge. 1-2 on Nelson Cruz as Fister is in search of a 1-2-3 first inning. And here's the 1-2. Just off the plate. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Cruz at .276, 22 home runs. The All-Star team that he has made this year his 2nd All-Star appearance. And a ball high and inside. 3-2. Cruz batting with the bases empty, just underway at Comerica. Now Fister with the 3-2 pitch. That'll go foul down the third base line. Broke his bat. And Cruz now will get a new twig as he sets back into the batter's box.
This Texas Rangers team travels well. They have won 26 games on the road and lost 20. That is the best record in the American League. Ron Washington has a good baseball team, although they're really getting it done with a lot of guys in that starting rotation you don't know a lot about.
Here's ball 4. 2 out base runner. A walk to Cruz. Ron Washington trails only Bobby Valentine for the most wins as a Texas Rangers manager. He's won 573.
He's taken his squad to the World Series a couple of years ago, and he did it in a couple of years in a row. Although they lost both of those series, one to the Giants and one to the St. Louis Cardinals.
Here is Beltre, 53 RBIs this season. Ball 1 from Fister. Beltre right now a 13-game hitting streak. And in that stretch, he's batting a cool .451. Outstanding defensive third baseman as well. High fly ball left field. Dirks coming in. Waiting, and that is that for Texas. No runs, no hits, a walk, 1 left. Here come the Tigers in the bottom of the first. Tigers starting lineup presented by the Southeast Michigan Ford dealers tonight. And it looks like this. It'll be Austin Jackson leading it off, and Torrey Hunter and Miguel Cabrera. Fritz Fielder batting cleanup. Victor is the DH again tonight. Peralta is your shortstop. Dirk Savilos Santiago round out the lineup, and they are facing the right-handed offerings of Justin Grimm.
And Justin has a little life on his fastball. He'll go anywhere from 90 to 94 miles an hour. He's got a big curveball, 12 to 6 curveball, also a changeup, and a slider in his 4-pitch mix.
And Jackson leads it off, looks at strike 1. AJ was cooled a little bit in the just completed series against the White Sox. 2 for 13 in that series. Average of 284, and he fouls it off 0-2. Jackson has still scored 21 times since returning from the disabled list, and that comes in a stretch of 26 ball games. The catalyst to the Tigers offense. Here's Grimm's 0-2 pitch, and it's hit fair inside the bag at first base. Jackson taking an aggressive turn. He's going for 2. Cruz has an arm, but it's cut off, and it's a double. Leadoff 2-base hit for Detroit.
And Justin Grimm probably would like to have this fastball back. He tried to get inside on Jackson. Jackson was a little tardy with his swing, but he took the proper direction to get to it. And he was thinking double out of the batter's box, and that's the only way you get a double with that impressive throwing arm that Nelson Cruz has in right field.
He ran right in his face.
He was thinking 2 out of the batter's box.
302 since coming off the disabled list. And so right away the Tigers have a scoring chance as Torrey Hunter stands in. And he looks at a ball inside.
And job to do here for Hunter. And he needs to try to hit something through the right side of the infield, which would possibly score Jackson. And if he happens to hit one right at Kinsler, the second baseman, that would at least get Jackson over to third with just 1 out for the big fella.
Beltre is crowding him at third base.
Torrey will bunt. It's a good scouting report.
We'll try and take that bunt possibility away. 307 for Torrey this year. Here's the 1-1. Driven down the left field line. It is a fair ball. To the corner it goes. Jackson will score. Hunter goes to second, and he has a double. 1-0 Detroit. Back-to-back 2 baggers.
And Torrey Hunter got one of those slow lollipop breaking balls from Justin Grimm. Got out in front of it and buggy whipped it down into that left field corner, and Jackson scoring with ease.
Torrey now 43 RBIs. 2 batters into the bottom of the first. The Tigers have a 1-0 lead. And now Miguel Cabrera stands in. And he looks at a ball low, 1-0. 448 this year with men in scoring position for Cabrera. Hunter at second. He's just driven in a run. And they will throw back to second. Kinsler, the second baseman, skating in behind the runner. Five for 12 in the series against Chicago for Miguel Cabrera, an all-star again this year. Now the 1-0.
Tim Hortons is the sponsor of the starting defense of the Texas Rangers. Profar, Martin, and Cruz in the outfield. Moreland, Kinsler, Andrews, and Beltre in the infield. And A.J. Przinsky was on the disabled list the last time we saw this Texas Rangers squad when the Detroit Tigers took a visit out to Texas.
There is Przinsky, who has caught a lot of innings over the last decade. Grimm again throws back, and the tag a little bit closer this time.
A.J. Przinsky knows this Tigers offense as well as any catcher in the majors. Playing for the Chicago White Sox the last number of years, and of course the White Sox and the Tigers hook up for 18 games a season.
Now the 1-1. Busting him inside. 2 balls, 1 strike. Grimm has faced the Tigers this year. That was back on May 18th in Arlington. He won the ball game, going 6 2/3 and allowing just 2 runs.
Texas wore out the Tigers when they went to visit them in Arlington. They won 3 of the 4 games.
It's been a bit of a different start for him tonight, though, with a couple of doubles allowed already. And that one missed. 3-1. Fielder waiting on deck. Well, Miguel Cabrera continues to put up the eye-popping numbers 1 year after winning the Triple Crown. Cabrera homered yesterday for the 30th time in the first half. Way outside. And so Cabrera, with first base open, was not really pitched to all that much.
Miggy is probably going to get that kind of treatment the entire series. I remember having a conversation with Ron Washington last year, and he said even though they have signed Prince Fielder, I'm not really going to pitch to Miguel Cabrera when there's runners in scoring position, unless I am absolutely forced into doing so.
I'm not sure really, Rob, there's a hitter in the game that you could put behind Cabrera that might change a manager's thinking in that respect.
No, not right now. I was listening to an interview with the president of the Indians when we were in Cleveland last week, and Mark Shapiro said that he would not be shocked to see at some point in time this year Miguel Cabrera walked with the bases loaded.
Well, the Tigers have the first three having reached, and here is Fielder, who following a Cabrera walk is hitting .307. And he shoots one to right, base hit. Hunter had to wait for it to get through, so he will stop at third, and the bases are loaded.
Good base running by Torrey Hunter. When you're in scoring position and there's less than 2 outs and the ball is hit on the line, you must freeze. Make sure it gets into the outfield, because you're only going to get 90 feet anyway when the ball goes to right field with the really good throwing arm that Nelson Cruz has.
Early trouble for Justin Grimm. And the pitching coach is out. Mike Maddox with an early visit tonight. 4 batters into this game. And now Grimm is going to have to face Victor Martinez.
No hotter hitter in the month of July than Victor Martinez.
With the bases loaded, .318 career, just 1 for 10 this year. Had a grand slam earlier this year. And a chance to bust it open early for Detroit. One ball and no strikes. Average up to .260 now for Victor Martinez. Wasn't going so well earlier this year when he faced the Rangers, just 2 out of 14, but these are different times now with that 13-game hitting streak. He absolutely killed Chicago pitching, 8 for 12 in the recently completed series. Now the 1-0. 2-0 on Victor Martinez.
And Grimm has forced himself into a very nice, friendly fastball count for Victor Martinez.
Victor and Beltre, the 2 hottest hitters in the month of July. Victor with 20 hits, Beltre with 19.
Hanley Ramirez out there for the Los Angeles Dodgers has been on fire as well, but he's playing in the shadow of that young rookie phenom, Yasiel Puig.
Now the 2-0. Bouncing ball first base side, foul ball. 2-1 on Martinez. Victor's RBI total up to 47 now. Tigers right now have him loaded. Hunter, Cabrera, Fielder from third to first. Justin Grimm has yet to record an out. This inning all started with the opposite field double by Jackson. He then scored on the Hunter double down the left field line. Bounce again. Pierzynski able to block it. Now it's 3-1 and no place to put Victor. Got to be concerning early here for Ron Washington and Mike Maddox. Grimm with a tough start as Peralta waits on deck. He's worked himself into a 3-1 count. Pfister looking for some more early offense. Fouled back out of play, 3-2. Grimm last year went from Double-A to the big leagues. just a couple of years removed from the University of Georgia, where he played collegiately. He's only 24 years of age, out of Bristol, Tennessee. Full count on Martinez. And a ground ball foul. Hang on there, fella. 3-2. Grimm having to deal with Martinez here. You've got an all-star waiting on deck in Johnny Peralta. He's already thrown 18 pitches in this inning without recording an out. And a ball high. That's going to walk him with the bases loaded. Force in a run, get Victor his 48th RBI. Still nobody out. And the ratio not all that good. 2-0 Detroit. And they are far from done, it appears. So here is Johnny Peralta. Bases are loaded. 2-0 Tigers. And it's drilled down the left field line. It's going to get down. Base hit. Cabrera scores. Fielder right behind him. Martinez will get to third. It's a double. And 2 RBIs for Johnny Peralta.
And right now, Grimm making a lot of mistakes in the strike zone. An 81-mile-per-hour hanging changeup that's ripped to left field. Profar is only playing in his 3rd game in left field. Goes over to pick it up, but not before. 2 runs come across the plate, and Peralta gets his 25th 2-bagger of the season.
And the Tigers are teeing off on Justin Grimm. It's a 4-0 ball game. Still nobody out. The Rangers forced to pull the infield in here in the 1st inning. Andy Dirks will stand in with runners at 2nd and 3rd. And it's popped up foul. That'll head back into the seats. No balls, 1 strike.
And giving up 1st inning runs is nothing new for Justin Grimm. That is now 16 allowed in the 1st inning in 17 starts.
Meanwhile, Dirks at 246 has knocked in a total of 23 this year. Swing and a miss. 0-2. Right-hander on the mound tonight for the opposition. That means Dirks gets the start. Tuiasa Sopo had been starting in left field against a few lefties the Tigers have faced. They'll get back out of play. 0-2 the count stays.
And Tuiasa Sopo will get an opportunity to play next couple of days as the Rangers will start a couple of left-handers. Derek Holland tomorrow. Good numbers for Tui and limited playing time.
Swing and a miss. Dirks is out of there, and that is the first out recorded by Grimm. 1 gone. Here's Avila back behind the plate in this one. Alex batting .177 on the season.
The majority of the infield is in. They are back a little bit on the corners, but the middle infielders The play for them, if something hit hard, is at home plate.
Strike called.
And really, with the speed of Victor Martinez, where Moreland and Beltre are playing on the corners, if something's hit sharply at either one of those gentlemen, they could choose to come home as well if Victor Martinez is coming on contact.
Lifted in the air toward left, slicing, and it's going to drop. Base hit. Another run will score. Martinez is hit. It's a bloop single to left field for Alex Avila, and it's 5-0 Detroit. The Tigers bat around here in the first inning. Here comes the number 9 hitter, Ramon Santiago. Everybody getting into the act here in the first inning. Santiago batting 169. With runners at first and third. And he shoots a ground ball to second. Might be 2. There's 1. Relay to first in time. The double play. However, the Tigers send 9 men to the plate. They score 5 times on 5 hits in the inning. And Jackson got it all started with a double. 5-0 Detroit at the end of 1. Five nothing. As we go to the top of the second, we remind you to vote for your Tigers McDonald's player of the game tonight, presented by the new Detroit Tigers M&M McFlurry, only at McDonald's. Using your cell phone, text Tigers, then a space, and then the player's uniform number to 37338, or you can vote online at foxsportsdetroit.com.
A lot of candidates early for the player of the game award.
Might be a tough selection this evening. Here is A.J. Pierzynski to start things off. Then Andrus and then Moreland. A.J. looks at a strike, 0-1. Tigers get 5 runs on 5 hits. .277 batting average for Pierzynski with 8 homers this year. He lines this one to left, soft line drive the other way, base hit. So Pierzynski is aboard with the Rangers' first hit of the night. That'll bring up Elvis Andrus. Elvis coming off a really rocky month of June. He hit just 196 last month. When the Tigers saw him in May, he was batting in the leadoff slot. He's batting 6 in this ball game tonight.
Ron Washington has tried to find a spot in the batting order to jumpstart the year of Elvis Andrus once again, and therefore taking him from that number 2 spot and putting him down in that 6th slot. It also breaks up some of the left-handers that he has down at the bottom of his lineup.
Kinsler has been out. Andrews has hit in the leadoff slot as well. Kinsler back now. There's a ball inside. 1 ball, 1 strike.
Their leadoff hitter, Kinsler, a lot like the Tigers' leadoff hitter. When he's missing, the offense just does not run as efficiently. Although the other guys might be getting on base, they don't touch home plate as much as Jackson and Kinsler do.
On the outer edge, 1-2 on Elvis Andrus. Pfister allowed a 2-out walk in the first inning. No damage, though. He's given up a leadoff single here in the second. Ground ball to short. Could be 2. Peralta, Santiago. That's a double play. Taylor made indeed. 6-4-3.
Here's what Jeff Jones was talking about regarding Doug Pfister when he's in the stretch. He simply has to slow down and gather himself, which he does. It allows the arm to get up, and it allows this good tailing fastball to run in on the hands of Elvis Andrus, and they're able to turn the double play because he gathered himself into a quality strike there. Last 3 outings, he had not been gathering himself, and his fastball has not had nearly the movement that we are used to watching Doug Pfister's fastball move.
Here's Mitch Moreland now with 2 outs.
Seems like every single game Jeff Jones is figuring out something in one of the starters' repertoire, which kind of helps them move on to that next start, especially when they have a bad outing.
0-1 the count on Moreland. The other thing Jeff does really well, and I guess, Rod, all good pitching coaches do this, is figure out how to deal with each individual personality on your staff, because they are, sometimes they all are different.
Yeah, part pitching coach and part psychiatrist.
Here's the 1-1 swing and a miss. 1-2 on Moreland.
But that's what makes good pitching coaches special. Able to find some video, detect something, and not make a big deal out of it, but go work in the bullpen with that particular pitcher and have that pitcher figure out some things.
Hit the other way and right past Miguel Cabrera, who made a diving attempt.
Moreland went 11 games and had 4 hits in the 11 games prior to last night's game, in which he got 3 hits in Baltimore. Now 1 more hit here today, and he's starting to do what he was doing earlier in the season when the Tigers saw him. He's starting to drive some balls the other way again. He also spent some time on the disabled list with a hamstring injury, so that may have hampered his ability, but his approach wasn't good while he was struggling in those 11 games prior to last night.
So here's the youngster Jurickson Profar, who is only 20 years of age. One of the top prospects in all of baseball. In fact, Baseball America had him rated the top prospect coming into the 2013 season.
And which is the main reason why Ron Washington has to try to figure out ways to get Profar in the starting lineup. He has started games at second, short, third, left, and he's also DH'd a couple of times.
Ball inside. 1 ball, 1 strike. There were rumblings, and obviously in the offseason, that's all they are, is rumblings, that the Rangers might be interested in trading Elvis Andrus because this young man was on the horizon. Andrus is still a part of the Rangers system
for a long time
and will be. There's a ball high, 2-1.
They may entertain the thought now of trading Profar at the trade deadline if they need a piece or 2.
Elvis has certainly established himself. Bouncing ball back up the middle. Peralta has it. Off balance throw is in time. Inning is over. On our way to the bottom of the second. Sports Detroit is brought to you by Comerica Bank, a part of Detroit and the community since 1849. Chrysler, imported from Detroit. And by Dan & Oikos and Stonyfield Yogurt. Dan & Oikos Greek Yogurt, too delicious to be nutritious. Another spectacular evening here at the ballpark tonight. Really good start for the Tigers as well. They scored 5 off Justin Grimm in the first inning, and it all started with an Austin Jackson double.
And Grimm threw 27 pitches in the first.
Ball missing outside. 1 ball, 1 strike.
Strikes to balls ratio not bad, but every time he threw a strike, and Tigers hitters were putting it in play.
Here's the 1-1. Jackson takes low and away. 2 balls, 1 strike. Hunter and then Cabrera to follow. Fouled away. 2-2 on Jackson. Hunter had an RBI in the first, so did Victor. 2 for Peralta and 1 for Avila. Totaling up 5. Ground ball back up the middle into center. Base hit. Jackson is 2 for 2. Leadoff man on here in the second.
And Jackson, first time up, he sliced a fastball down the right field line for a double. This time he takes a breaking ball on the inner third, pulls his hands in nicely, and barrels it up and hits it right past the shortstop, Elvis Andrus.
Here's Torrey. 2-base hit, RBI first inning. He's also having a great month of July. Came in 366 this month. And now 12 RBIs in 10 games in July. Low and away, 1-0. Long look down at Tom Brookins in the coaching box at third.
Torrey Hunter was one of the best pickups by any team this offseason for what he means on the field and off the field. Even after a very difficult loss, Torrey's one of those guys that's in the clubhouse and answering all the questions, still has a smile on his face, knowing that he's played 17 years and he's seen everything and simply have to bounce back the next day.
Runner goes. Drilled to center field on a line. It's going to get down a base hit. Jackson on his way to third. It's a single for Torrey Hunter, and the Tigers pick up where they left off in the first.
And Tigers clicking on all cylinders so far here in the first couple of innings of this contest. Austin Jackson was on the move. Torrey Hunter got himself a breaking ball up in the zone, hit it right back up the middle, and Jackson was able to see where it was and scamper over to third without a play.
That'll set up Miguel Cabrera. Tigers have 7 hits already in this game. And both Jackson and Hunter are 2 for 2. Cabrera walked in the first inning. One ball, no strikes. Nobody has walked more in the American League than Miguel Cabrera, 57 times.
I'm surprised he hasn't walked 157 times.
May get there by the end of the year. Joey Votto's walked 67 times over in the National League. He is that league's leader. High towering fly ball center field. Martin going back, and Comerica will swallow this one up, but it'll get a run in. Jackson, meanwhile, is going to be safe as he scampers back in, or Hunter rather, into first base. Jackson scored.
I don't know what Torrey Hunter was doing there, but he almost ran himself into an out. Torrey goes halfway initially. Then he realizes that the ball is going to be caught in center field by Martin, and it took one kind of acrobatic slide for him to elude the tag of Moreland to make it safely back to first base. Great slide, Hunter. Good call by Scott Berry as well, who is the first base umpire who stayed with the play.
6-0. Tigers have the lead now as they add one more. Fielder fouls it back out of play. Cabrera now has 95 RBIs. The shift is on for Prince Fielder. Elvis Andrus playing directly behind the bag. Prince had a single back in the first. Ball outside. 1-1 the count on Fielder. Fouled back out of play. 1-2. Always wondered about this shift, Rod, when they do it to guys like Fielder and Tomey and Hafner in the past, all these big power hitting left-handed batters. If you pitch to the shift, don't you run the risk of making a mistake on the inside part of the plate and having the guy hit it out?
I don't think many guys pitch to the shift. I think they play the shift and they still pitch guys away.
Here's the 1-2. That's rolled foul. In other words, entice them to hit the ball the other way.
Exactly. Get them out of their game.
Grimm now 40 total pitches. He had 27 in that first. Here's the 1-2. Bouncing ball foul.
Something Mike Maddox has done a very nice job of. He's the pitching coach of the Texas Rangers, and a really good one. 80% of his starting rotation at the beginning of the year was on the disabled list. So they've had to call up guys from the minor leagues to fill in. And they have gotten a lot of really good starts from, by and large, a very young staff this year.
Fly ball left field. Profar coming in, running a long way for the out. 2 gone.
When you think about they are 1 game out of first place on July 12th, and they pretty much have not had their entire starting rotation intact all season long.
Well, they've got an all-star team on the DL right now. I mean, names like Darvish, and Feliz, and Harrison, just to name a few. Agondo, Berkman. I mean, these are major pieces that Ron Washington has had to go without, and here are some of those names.
And a lot of these guys have had a lot of success in that rotation. Harrison's starting to throw again after having some back issues. They're going to get him back after the all-star break, but Ogando's an all-star, Feliz an all-star, Darvish is an all-star.
Victor Martinez had a bases-loaded walk in the first inning, providing his 48th RBI.
They just put Yu Darvish on the disabled list. They expect him to take his regular turn in the rotation after the all-star break. So his issues weren't that serious.
Here's the 1-0. In the air, left field. Profar going back, track, wall looks up, that ball is off the wall. Hunter coming to third, they send him home. Here comes the throw to the plate, and he is safe at home plate.
2 great slides by Hunter. I see it well.
Here comes Ron Washington to argue this. Pierzynski can't believe it. The throw clearly beat him there, but Quinn Walcott said it was a good enough slide.
Profar, the left fielder, airmailed the first cutoff man. He got into Beltre, but the ball was in the hand of, or the glove of Pierzynski before Hunter got there. But the fact that Pierzynski had to jump may have allowed Torrey to sneak that left hand right in there. This much I do know. Quinn Walcott, he was all over it. He had his nose right down there in it.
Yep. Safe.
That is a good call.
Because the ball beat him there by a wide margin, it appeared it was going to be called out, but that was a great slide by Hunter. 7-0 Detroit. And in the meantime, give Martinez a 14-game hitting streak.
He is on fire right now.
Walk, a double, 2 RBIs tonight for Martinez. 2 balls, no strikes. It's almost as if Victor is making up for lost time over the last 2 weeks. He is now 9 for his last 13. Here's the 2-0 to Peralta. Ball outside. Johnny doubled in 2 in the first inning, and Peralta now with 44 driven in. Three and 1. Dirk's waiting on deck. Tigers all over Justin Grimm here in the first 2 innings. Trying to cool Torrey down.
It's been a busy evening already for Hunter.
Line drive, right field, base hit. They're going to hold Victor at third base. Cruz was ready to come up throwing to the plate. So Johnny now 2 for 2. And the hits just keep on coming.
Grimm not fooling anybody here today. It's a fastball that is down. It is off the plate. Johnny goes down to get it. And able to find some grass in shallow right field for his second knock of the evening.
We are not even 2 innings into this start for Grimm, and his next pitch will be his 50th. Mike Maddox out again. Doug Fisker enjoying all of this offensive support. So are these fans who have piled in again here tonight on a glorious night for baseball here in the Motor City.
And watching one of his starting pitchers struggle, really nothing new for Ron Washington. Yeah, but his bullpen has picked up the starters. Very few of them have been able to go past 5 innings, and which is the reason why their bullpen has pitched a lot of innings since the beginning of June. I mean a lot of innings.
Andy Dirks takes the ball low. Nice block by Przinsky.
And Wash is going to need probably 4 or 5 innings out of that bullpen here tonight.
Could be more. Dirks struck out back in the first. Only 2 Tigers did not reach base in that first inning. Dirks and Santiago. And he pops it up. Third base side, Przinsky discarding the mask, and he'll haul it in. So the Tigers add 2 more. Victor Martinez absolutely red hot. You're watching Tigers baseball tonight, presented by Bell Tire.
first half inning. He should have been out twice. He should have got picked off there on the throw from the outfield, and then the throw from Adrian Beltre. Torrey Hunter able to get his hand in there before the tag, and both times the ball beat Hunter there, but the umpires give them some credit. They stayed with the slide, and Torrey clearly safe on both occasions.
Well, Pfister back to the mound now, and he has a 7-0 lead to work with. It'll be Leonis Martin leading it off. Martin, then Kinsler, and then Murphy. 7 runs, 9 hits for Detroit. The Rangers, no runs, 2 hits. Martin at .292. Waves and misses 0-2.
A lot of talent for Martin. Strong arm, outstanding speed. And they believe he's going to hit for average, hitting .292 right now, and they believe he'll be able to do that in the big leagues.
High fly ball right field. Jackson Hunter converge. Hunter to make the catch. One out. Top of the order now for Texas, Ian Kinsler. Pfister trying to rebound after back-to-back 6-run outings. 1 to Cleveland, 1 to Toronto. Both of them on the recent road trip for Detroit.
Doug also had a rocky outing in Texas against his Rangers squad earlier this year. Didn't last 5 innings, and he threw 113 pitches in that contest.
Tigers as a team did not have a good series. They were outscored 26-19 in that series. And a check swing. One missed inside. 1 ball and 1 strike. Line drive. That is a fair ball down the left field line. Kinsler going to have extra bases. Rolls around the corner. And it's going to be a 1-out double. Time for a game break. Let's go back to the studio now. Here's Justin White. Thanks, Justin. Here it's all Detroit. 7-0 is our score as we play in the top of the 3rd, and now David Murphy will stand in. And he takes ball 1 outside. Teams as we head to the All-Star break trying to finish up with a little bit of momentum. Finish up strong here in the first half, heading into the second half. Tigers dropped 2 out of 3 against Chicago here at home.
No one doing a better job than that than Joe Madden's Rays. They've won 8 straight. And sometimes you just wonder how they get it done.
The 2-0 is fouled back out of play. I wonder that sometimes about that Oakland team out west.
They pitch.
I mean, they got 54 wins.
Yeah, both those clubs pitch.
Rangers have also gotten it done on the road. Best road record in the American League, 2nd best in all of baseball.
26-20.
Here's the 2-1. Lifted toward left, slicing from Dirks, and back out of play. Cardinals over in the National League. 28-19 on the road. The 2-2 is low. Avila down to the shin guards to block it. 3-2 on David Murphy. And coming into tonight, really struggles away from their home ballpark in Arlington. 197 on the road. Nelson Cruz on deck. Ground ball first base side right at Prince. He'll tag the back for the out, 2 away. Advance Kinsler down to third base. Cruz had a walk. That was back in the first. Nelson's been a guy that has been hampered by hamstring problems a lot in his career, but last season he played in 159 games. And again, big power numbers this year. Breaking ball floats in for a strike, 0-1.
That's a well located breaking ball to Cruz because he clobbers breaking balls that are on the inner third of home plate. So you must get it away from him if you're going to start him off with that real slow lollipop curveball.
Wave and a miss, 0-2.
Good changeup there after the curveball. And now you simply have to get Nelly to chase something. Either go up above the letters or go right back down to the bottom of the zone.
A little off the plate, 1 ball, 2 strikes. Cruz right now a 7-game hitting streak. Missed it inside that time, 2-2. Here's Beltre, their hottest hitter, waiting in the on-deck circle. That is popped up left side of the infield. Peralta waiting for it. And that is that for Texas. They get a double, fail to score, and we go to the bottom of the third.
If you're just tuning in, you've missed a lot. The Tigers have 4 extra base hits already to date. Jackson with a leadoff double, followed by a Torrey Hunter double, which played at Jackson. Johnny Peralta also drove in a couple there with a double in the first inning. And Victor Martinez, his 2nd hit of the day. In the 2nd inning, he doubles over the head of Profar. And he plates Hunter on an outstanding slide by Torrey Hunter.
So the Tigers riding a wave of 7 runs in the first 2 innings on the benefit of 9 hits. And now Grimm back at the hill. First pitch grounded towards second base. That's handled there by Kinsler, 1 out. Avila is gone. That'll bring up Santiago, who bounced into a double play back in the first inning. Which ended that long first inning. Tigers hit a round, scoring a total of 5 runs. Showing bunt, looks at ball one outside. That's it for a strike on the outer edge. 1-1 on Ramon. Breaking ball bouncing in the dirt. 2-1. Santiago seeing the lion's share of playing time at second base in the absence of Omar Infante. Here's the 2-1. Strike called by Quinn Walcott. 2-2. Grimm was the American League Rookie of the Month back in April. Was 2-0 that month. Had an ERA of 1.59. He has had his moments this year. In fact, he leads American League rookies in wins and innings pitched. But he was ambushed here tonight. There's a chop hit to the first baseman Moreland. 2 gone. Fans, don't forget you can enjoy Tigers games of your choice for as low as $26 per game with the Summer 8-pack. It includes a commemorative Tigers coin and a Tigers Club access pass. Call 313-471-2255 or visit tigers.com/summer8 and enjoy Tigers baseball here at the ballpark. Austin Jackson, the batter, with the bases empty. And AJ watches a breaking ball slide in for a strike. 0-1. 2 out of 2 tonight for Jackson. Single, double, 2 runs scored. Oh, 2. The 2 runs scored tonight now gives Jackson 23 of them in his last 27 games. Ball high, 1-2. Torrey waiting on deck. He's also had a big night. Top of the Tigers lineup has gotten it done. And he got him. Strike 3. Jackson is out of there. And it's a 1-2-3 inning for Justin Grimm on a gorgeous night for baseball here in the Motor City. We completed 3. At the ballpark, and time now for the Bernstein Advantage scouting report on Adrian Beltre get the Bernstein advantage. We go to bat for you. And how about Beltre's ranks in the month of July?
Yeah, did make the All-Star team this year. That's only because there is so many really good third basemen, but he should be on it. And those numbers are tremendous in the month of July for Adrian Beltre.
We'll start things off here against Pfister. Beltre, Pierzynski, Andrews. And it's in for a strike. Doug has given up a walk in the first, a couple of singles in the second, a double in the third, but the Rangers not been able to cash in. Waving a miss on a breaking ball, went down to one knee, 0-2.
He will do that on occasion. They used to call it the wedding proposal in Boston. Down on one knee.
Bouncing ball to third. Cabrera waits on the hop. Beltre is out, and he is 0 for 2 as they cool him down slightly. Want the numbers on Doug. 51, 35 strikes. Here's A.J. Pierzynski. A.J. had a single to start things off in the second, then he raced on a double play by Andrews. Pierzynski missed a couple of weeks with a bad oblique. He drives one deep to right field. That ball is up there. It is way back and gone. A.J. Pierzynski with a one-out solo shot. And the Rangers are on the board.
A.J. Pierzynski is one of the best guess hitters in the major leagues. You don't usually take change-ups on the very first pitch in an 0-0 count and hit him as far as he hit this one unless you are absolutely sitting on that pitch. A.J. sat on it and he didn't miss it.
Ninth home run of the year for Pierzynski. 7-1 ball game. Here's Elvis Andrews. Fought that one off 0-1. Pierzynski has also picked up his 32nd RBI. And in his career against Detroit, which is obviously a lot of ball games, pretty good numbers. One ball, one strike on Andrews.
A.J. has a career after his baseball career is over as well. He will be a major league analyst somewhere. He does very good work in the postseason for Fox.
Not afraid to tell it like it is, as they say. Done a lot of TV work already. Here's the 1-2. Bouncer back up the middle. Johnny going a long way for this one. That'll get into center field, a base hit.
Let's take a look at Moreland. This was that series that the Tigers were in Arlington. He was on fire at that point in time. Got off to a slow start, but the manager stuck with him. And he was hitting everything up the middle and the other way. And then we told you he spent some time on the disabled list. Came back. He was way too pull happy, but in the last couple of days, he's kind of gotten back to doing what he did there earlier in the season. That was his first base hit here tonight, the opposite way.
There's a strike called on Mitch Moreland. Missed over a month with a hamstring problem in 2012.
Everybody going down with hamstring injuries here lately.
2 straight years now for Moreland. It's fouled back out of play. 0-2 the count.
Alexi Ramirez had to leave yesterday's game with a hamstring injury. Matt Holliday of the St. Louis Cardinals pulled a hamstring muscle just a few days ago. How about that news on Derek Jeter? Made one start yesterday, and he might have to go back on the disabled list with a quad injury this time.
Yeah, I think initially I didn't think it was going to be a problem, but that would not be good.
Grade 1 strain of the quadricep is what they're calling it.
Oh, 2. Moreland batting here after a couple of hits for the Rangers, including the home run by Pierzynski. Rangers now have 5 hits. Tigers have 9 in this game. They lead 7-1. Pulled foul down the first base line. Texas took 3 out of 4 from the Tigers in Arlington. Earlier this season, Tigers trying to return the favor here in this 3-game series, heading into the All-Star break. Now the 0-2, and it missed outside.
Miguel Cabrera had that 3-homer night, that Sunday night game. One of the more memorable nights that I've ever watched a game from the stands. We didn't work that night, and it was awfully impressive.
Drilled to center field on a line, straight at Jackson. Austin runs it down, and there are 2 gone. Moreland retired. That'll bring up Profar. Well, Cabrera just continues to do things that nobody else does. There's a shot that he could get to 100 RBIs before the break. He has another one tonight, which gives him 95.
I'm not so sure he's even hit his prime yet. He's going to get better than what he is right now, which is scary.
There's a strikeout. Profar.
Very much must-see TV these days is Miguel Cabrera.
Vila blocks it. Fister, by the way, now 14 of 17 on first pitch strikes. Been pitching with the lead all night. Tigers got him 5 in the first, 2 more in the second. Runner goes. Here comes the throw, bouncing in and not in time. Andrews has a stolen base. That'll be his 19th of the year.
Not much of an opportunity here for Avila. And by the time he gets this ball on its way down to second base, outstanding jump by Andrews, and he's stealing that base rather easily.
Profar sends a ground ball, base hit to right field. Andrews coming to third. They send him home. He will score. It's a 2-out RBI single for Jurickson Profar, and it's now 7-2.
You want to stay out of fastball counts with Profar, but very patient at bat for the kid. He took the breaking balls that were down. He forced himself into a fastball count, got the fastball, and ripped it to the pull field.
So the stolen base leads to a run, and 2 back for the Rangers. 5-run game now. Here's Leonis Martin. Strike 1 on Martin. Earlier this year, Martin had a 15-game hitting streak. That was in the month of June. That's it for a strike. Make it 0-2 now on Martin. Fouled away. Pretty good numbers for Martin in his career, albeit a small sampling against Tigers pitching. Now 8 for 19. Trying to get it to the top of the lineup. Ian Kinsler waiting on deck for the Rangers. And the 0-2 to right field, sinking, and Hunter can't get it. Base hit. That'll move Profar to second base. So the Rangers continue to peck away, and that's going to bring Jeff Jones out of the dugout. It's 4 hits in this inning now for the Rangers. Including the home run by Pierzynski. Total of 70 pitches thrown by Doug Fister, 22 of them here in the 4th inning. Hey fans, the search is on. Think you have what it takes to join Brittany and Stephanie as the new Fox Sports Detroit girl? Well, go to foxsportsdetroit.com, upload your photos, and submit your video. So here is Kinsler. And Fister's had a tough time of getting that final out here in the 4th. Kinsler had a double back in the 3rd. Ball 1 inside as Kinsler backs out of there. The longest tenured Texas Ranger, Ian Kinsler. Ball outside, 2-0. Here are the career numbers on Kinsler. You see the power that he provides at the top of the lineup. 152 home runs in his career. He's had a good year this year with men in scoring position. 357 as he tries to get the Rangers a little bit closer. And he takes a strike, 2-1.
Ian Kinsler is just one of 5 major leaguers and the only American League player to have 150 or more homers and 150 stolen bases since the 2006 season. So he has speed and power.
Avila down to block that one, 3-1. And this has turned into an arduous inning for Doug Fister. Kinsler by and large does not strike out all that often. The second toughest to strike out in the American League, once every nearly 13 at bats. And he missed outside. That's a walk, and that's going to load the bases now for Texas. And it's the Tigers now on the telephone. Fisker gets his second walk.
Walks usually not an issue. And for Fister, 88 strikeouts, only 20 base on balls this year.
Strike 1 on David Murphy.
Doug walked 3 in his last outing, so walks have been somewhat troublesome the last couple of outings.
Swing and a miss, and now quickly 0-2.
He has had no difficulty getting ahead of these Texas Rangers hitters here tonight, 16-19 in first pitch strikes.
Profar, Martin, and Kinsler occupying the bases right now. But it's 0-2 on David Murphy, who's 0 for 2 tonight. Swing and a miss to strike him out. And Fister will pitch out of the jam, allowing just the 2 runs. They leave him loaded. We go to the bottom of the 4th. Brought to you by Arby's. Try Arby's Mighty Minis today. Arby's, slicing up freshness. And by Bell Tire. Get the lowest tire price, period. Bell Tire. Great night for ball here at the ballpark. We're in downtown Detroit. And the Tigers right now at Comerica Park are leading this one by a score of 7-2. Not too many spots to find here in the ballpark. Standing room only. And they are even out of the ballpark to watch this one tonight.
Fireworks as well after this game. Friday nights are always the place to be here at Comerica Park.
Torrey Hunter leads it off, and it's going to be Hunter Cabrera, fielder, facing the right-hander Justin Grimm. Single double for Torrey tonight, plus an RBI. 2 runs scored. That's in for a strike. 1-1. 7-9-0 for Detroit. 2-7-0 for Texas. Torrey's average now is up to 311. Bouncing ball foul, third base side. 1-2 on Hunter. Grimm was able to survive a really rough first inning. He faced 9 batters. They scored 5 times. Then he gave up 2 more in the second, but had a 1-2-3 third. Here's the 1-2. Swing and a miss. They got Torrey that time.
Here's today's high-speed stat brought to you by Charter Internet. And Miguel Cabrera hit his 30th home run last night and put him in some special company through the first 90 games of the season. 360 or better average, 30 homers, and 90 RBIs. It's only been done 5 times. DiMaggio, Fox, Ruth, and Gary. Ruth did it twice.
Ball inside, 1-0. Miggy with a sac fly back in the second, knocking in his 95th run of the year. That one didn't break too far, and it stayed inside. 2-0. Cabrera came in batting .384 lifetime against Texas pitching. Driven toward left center field. On the move is the center fielder. Martin won't get it. That'll be a base hit. And it's a 1-out single for Cabrera.
We told you that the youngster Profar really not a good outfielder yet, although he may be a good outfielder before it's all said and done. Only his 3rd game in the outfield, and he took a wrong route to get to the ball. Don't know if he would have made the catch anyway, but he probably got fooled by the swing of Miguel. Took a couple of steps back, and then by the time he recovered, there was no play for the youngster to make.
131 hits now this season for Cabrera.
Gary Pettis handles the outfielders for the Texas Rangers and works exclusively with Profar. And Gary, real good outfielder himself, so I'm sure he'll get Profar adequate in the outfield.
#1 prospect in baseball coming in this season. Time called now, and here comes the trainer for the Rangers.
Yeah, they noticed something after that last delivery.
The head athletic trainer for the Rangers. And Grimm hiding his words with his glove.
And here's what they were looking at in the Rangers dugout. His arm flexing something in that right arm.
Taking him out of the game, it looks like. Ron Washington says, give it the baseball. We're not going to mess with this. So Grimm will give up the baseball, and he will leave. And they're going to have to go to the bullpen here with an injury to Justin Grimm as they go to the pen. We'll step aside. It's a Wallside Windows pitching chain.
Ortiz to get loose. We're going to flash back to Miguel Cabrera's Sunday night in Texas, where he had a 3-homer game against Texas Rangers pitching. All 3 of the home runs straightaway center field. Very impressive night for Miguel. And really after that night, it seemed like the national media really started to talk about Miguel even more so than they did the season before when he won a Triple Crown.
I was wondering why it took so long. Consecutive seasons, hitting .290 with 25 homers and 100 RBIs. Cabrera's done it 9 straight years. The great Lou Gehrig did it 12. Pujols 10.
It's not very often when a guy gets to his 10th year in the big leagues and he has already established himself as a Hall of Fame player if he never gets another major league hit.
Well, don't forget this Sunday the Tigers face these Rangers at 108, and all kids 14 and under receive a free Justin Verlander bobblehead. For tickets, call 866-66-TIGER or visit tigers.com and get yourself one of those bobbleheads. JV bobblehead. JV, he'll make his final start prior to the All-Star break. Coming up on Sunday, his bobblehead day. So Ortiz is done warming up. Joe Ortiz has pitched in 22 games.
Did you see what the sign was for Ortiz when Maddox?
No, but I have an idea.
Motion to the bullpen. He just had his hand down real low as to, and give me, one of the guys down there that is not as tall as the other guys.
Well, not as tall means 5'7" in the case of Mr. Ortiz.
But he had his hand down around his waist, indicating to the bullpen, this is the guy that I want. It's not unusual for me and pitching coaches to have different signs for different guys.
5'7", 175. Yeah, sometimes when you can't use the telephone. There's a ball outside, 2-1 now on Prince Fielder.
Ortiz has a fastball that will go anywhere from 89 to 92. He's got a slider at about 85, and he also throws a changeup, and he throws a lot of changeups.
Strike called on Prince. Still hitting over 300 against left-handed pitching. 303 for Prince. And he missed again. 3-2 now on Fielder. Justin Grimm leads with an injury, or leaves with an injury here in the 4th inning after a single by Miguel Cabrera. Martinez waiting on deck. Swing and a miss, and he got Fielder that time. 2 gone. That'll bring up Victor. Ortiz is only 22 years old. Won't be 23 until August the 13th. Out of Caracas, Venezuela.
Mike Maddox told me before the game today that they have 8 men in their bullpen, so not an issue for them to go out there often tonight if they need to go do that. We've seen more teams in the last couple of weeks that have 8 men in their bullpen.
Yeah. And the Rangers, the latest. There's a strike called on Martinez. That's right-handed for the first time tonight.
Cleveland had 8 members of their bullpen. The Toronto Blue Jays had 8 men in their bullpen.
Here's the 0-1. Bouncing ball third base side. Flag there by Beltre. They'll get the force ending the inning. No runs, a hit, 1 left. Let's go to the 5th. And it reads before Cabrera, who is the last player to have 95 or more RBIs before the All-Star break. A couple of more days to go before we hit the break, which begins on Monday. All-Star game at Citi Field in New York this year. Nelson Cruz will start things off as we go to the 5th inning here at Comerica Park. 7-2 in favor of the Tigers. Doug Fister back to the hill. He had to really wiggle himself out of a huge jam. Although he gave up 2 runs in the 4th, they left him loaded. Cruz 0 for 1 with a base on balls as well. And Nelson looks at a strike. 1-1 the count. Fister is looking for his first win since beating Minnesota back on June 16th. It's pulled foul. 1 ball 2 strikes. He's had a loss and 3 no decisions in the interim. And the ERA going over 4 after his last start. It had been in the 3s most of the year. Here's the 1-2. Got him, strike 3. Cruz caught looking.
Cruz did not agree with the first strike that Quinn Walcott called a strike, and he didn't agree with the last one. But that last one got plenty of plate.
Oh, it sure did. It was right down the middle. Here's Beltre, fly ball and a ground out, trying to extend his 13-game streak. Fly ball right field. Torrey backing up, track, front of the wall to make the catch. And so Beltre is 0 for 3, 2 outs.
Fister's top fastball so far, 89, is what Xfinity, excuse me, is telling us. And his 71 is on the slow curveball that he throws.
Fister has not been able to get A.J. Pierzynski out tonight. He has a single and a homer, a solo shot. Came last inning, which got the Rangers on the board. And Pierzynski takes a strike. He also spent some time on the disabled list this year with a bad oblique.
That's when we were there.
Right.
Out in Arlington.
Back in the month of May. Here's the 1-1. Ground ball to short. 2 steps to his right. Johnny has it. And Pierzynski is out. Easy 1-2-3 inning for Doug Fister. On our way to the bottom of the 5th. Miller time later in tonight's game, brought to you by Miller Lite. Tigers on top in this one. Game 1 in this 3-game weekend set featuring the Tigers and the Rangers. 7-2. Tigers did all their scoring early. They jumped all over Justin Grimm with 5 in the first. Grimm has since left with an injury. And so Joe Ortiz goes back to the hill. And Ortiz here in the 5th inning will face Peralta, Dirks, and then Alex Avila. Johnny looks at a ball low, 1-0. 2-run double for Peralta and then a single. He is 2 for 2. Swing and a miss.
Good changeup there by Ortiz. He loves the changeup to the right-handed batters. Doesn't throw it as much to the left-handers, but he throws it about 22% of the time.
Now the 1-1. Bouncing ball first base side, backhanded by Moreland. He'll race to the bag and win it. And 1 gone. That means Ortiz now has retired all 3 that he's faced.
And Mitch Moreland goes over to his left and needs no help from Ortiz.
Ortiz, we mentioned, only 22 years old, was in his first big league camp this year. Was added to the 40-man roster last November. Dirks trying to get on the board with a base hit. He is 0 for 2 in this game.
Left-hander that can throw 91, 92 with a plus breaking ball and a plus changeup. That adds up to a real nice bullpen piece.
Rangers signed him shortly after his 16th birthday back in 2006. And Caracas, Venezuela. 2-1 on Dirks.
They call that robbing the cradle, don't they?
Well, I guess.
16?
Well, yeah, but I think it's in response to maybe another type of. Anyway, there's a short pop that is caught on the run by Andrews. It's a nice running play there by Elvis. Dirks thought he had a broken bat hit.
Dirk could use a broken bat hit about right now. Any hit of any kind. Elvis Andrews is taking that next step at shortstop. Performing very well this year. Very well.
8 errors in 331 chances. Here's Alex Avila, who blooped a single to left field his first time up for his 21st RBI of the year. Alex grounds it foul right off his foot.
That hurt.
Here comes Kevin Rand. Oh my goodness. This one's going to stay with Avila for a while, it appears. Was it the foot or the shin? Foot. Ouch.
Back knee. Back left knee. You don't see it very often.
Avila's going to fight it off. 0-1. Rangers bullpen came into this game having allowed just 1 run in their last 14 2/3 innings. They had to go to the bullpen early tonight, not because of the early troubles for Justin Grimm, but because of the injury to Grimm. We're still awaiting word on why he was taken out of the game.
And that run they gave up last night.
Since June 1st, they've thrown a lot of innings.
Can't continue to have success that way. They need the starters to step up.
One and two. 2 out, nobody on. We're in the 5th. Tigers on top 7-2 tonight. And he got him, strike three. Avila is caught looking, and that's a 1-2-3 inning for Joe Ortiz. Miguel Cabrera, who is the last player to have 95 or more RBIs before the All-Star break. And that answer would be Josh Hamilton in 2008 with the Texas Rangers. He had 95. Cabrera picked up his 95th in tonight's ball game.
Josh Hamilton had a nice run while he was wearing the Texas Rangers uniform, and he's finally gotten it going out in L.A. Last couple of weeks. Hamilton has been on fire for the Halos.
And the question is whether or not it's too late. There's still a lot of baseball to be played, though. Fister back to the mound as we go to the sixth, and it's a ball low and away. Elvis Andrus leads it off.
But the answer to your question is exactly. It may be too late. They're 9 games back of Oakland and Texas.
Showing bunt, and he looks at the ball outside. 2-0. Single and a double play ball for Andrus tonight, plus a stolen base. Here's the 2-0 pitch. That's in for a strike. I think that Angels team has enough offense. I think they have enough pieces that eventually will all put it together. The question is, do they have enough starting pitching?
That seems to be the common theme with a lot of squads this year. Tigers don't have that issue. Their issues have been more so in the bullpen.
What do you do if you're the Angels and you're 9 out at the trading deadline? I mean, with all the talent they have on that team, do you go for it, or do you just plan for next year?
I would not fold tent because they'll be okay next year with the talent that they have in Trumbo and Trout and Hamilton and Pujols and Kendrick. They got a real nice nucleus. They just need a couple of frontline starters, some guys that can give them a legitimate chance to win when they take the ball every 5th day. So I would not fold up 10 if I were the Angels.
2-2. Swing and a miss. Andrus is out of there. One gone.
5-time All-Star and a couple of American League pennants and a couple of trips to the World Series is what Hamilton did in their uniform. MVP. Batting title.
4 home runs in a game on May 8th. But now working with the Angels out in Anaheim, California. Fister goes to work now against the left-handed batting Mitch Moreland. Doug's trying to put a little bit of a roll together. 5 straight retired. 3 of them via a strikeout. Here's the 0-1. Sails outside. 1 ball, 1 strike. Now time called as Moreland steps out. Single fly ball tonight for Mitch Moreland. Pops this one up. Shallow center field. Jackson coming in. Still drifting. Moreland is out, 2 gone, and back to the studio we go for a game break. Here's Justin White. All right, Justin, thanks. Here it is 7-2 in favor of the Detroit Tigers. And it's a strike called on Jurickson Profar. 1 for 2 with a base hit. Profar first made a name for himself when he was just 11 years of age. He played in the Little League World Series championship game for Curacao. And they won the championship, and Jurickson on that team was a shortstop and a pitcher. In fact, as he got bigger and older, he started throwing in the low 90s, 92, 93, and many teams scouted him as a pitcher. But the Rangers were the only team that wanted him as a shortstop. And he ended up signing with Texas.
Doesn't appear to have the build of a guy that could throw 93 miles an hour.
I was thinking the same thing. The 2-1 pitch. Drilled to center field, base hit.
It's the second time he's gotten himself in a friendly fastball count, 2-1, and that's the second time he has ripped a single off Fister.
That's 8 hits now for Texas. Profar has 2 of them.
Yeah, the scouting word on Profar is you have to get him out with breaking balls. Lightning quick hands the youngster has at age 20.
Two-out single. Fister had retired 6 straight. Here is Leonis Martin. And that was Doug's 100th pitch of the night. And Martin disagrees with the call from Quinn Walcott. 30 pitch fourth. The longest inning that Fister has had. He then came back with a 1-2-3 fifth inning, and now he's given up a 2-out single here in the 6th. Here's the 0-1. Tried to hold up. Did he? No, he did not. He went around, says Mike Everett.
Good call by Mike Everett.
One ball, 2 strikes. Bruce Rondon starting to warm up in the Detroit bullpen. His style is much different than Fister's style. Now the 1-2. Lifted, foul ground, third base side, long run. Cabrera can't get there.
I think he pulled up because of the bat.
I think you're right. Miggy's had issues with the side and the back.
It appeared to be a catchable ball, and he got close to it, but he pulled up at the last moment. Fister taking a long time before getting back on the mound, allowing Miguel to gather himself. That's why Miguel not participating in the home run hitting contest next Tuesday, or excuse me, Monday in New York.
That one gets away from Avila. That'll advance the runner to second base.
Martin is trying to tell the home plate umpire that that ball hit him.
Well, let's see.
A little bit of a late acting job there by Martin.
Well, Jeff Jones coming out again to have a chat with Pfister. Ron Washington coming out now. Martin was complaining quite a bit, and it's almost as if he called his manager out.
Wash didn't want to get up.
No, Wash is like, look.
Stay in there and hit.
Exactly.
Wash is old school.
All right, I guess he'll come out.
He might be asking Quinn Walcott, where's he going to dinner at tonight?
Well, he's asking him apparently to get together with the other umpires, see if anybody else saw it. I'm not sure if the home plate umpire didn't see it, that anybody else did. But Martin maintains he was hit by that pitch. There's Tim Welke on the left. He is your crew chief. It's real difficult to tell from that angle.
It didn't look like to me he got hit.
Martin is still shaking his head and saying it hit me in the leg. It did take Wash a while to come out there, though. He did not immediately come out to argue that play. Yeah, I don't know. Doesn't matter. The call is he wasn't hit. 2-2 on Leonis Martin. Single and a fly ball tonight for the Rangers' number 9 hitter. 7-2, Tigers lead. We're in the top of the 6th. Swing and a miss. And that is that. 5 strikeouts for Doug Pfister. Nothing comes of the single in the wild pitch. They strand a man at second. back here at the ballpark. Tigers in control tonight. 7-2 is our score as we go to the bottom of the 6th inning, and the Tigers batting against the lefty Ortiz. Santiago, the number 9 hitter, leads it off. Then Jackson and Hunter. 7 runs, 10 hits. Detroit, 2 runs, 8 hits for the visiting Rangers. 1 ball, 1 strike on Ramon, who has a couple of ground balls. One of them was turned into a double play. That's pulled right at the third baseman, and a little bit of a mini leap there by Beltre. 1 gone. 6 in a row retired by Ortiz is coming up.
And Beltre barely had to leave his feet.
Here's Jackson. Strike called on AJ. Single double, 2 runs scored tonight for Jackson. Average of 288. And he shoots this one towards second, and that one's caught by Kinsler. Couple of line drives, 2 outs. Here's Hunter. In-game box score, you see Hunter and Jackson each with 2 hits. A couple of RBIs tonight for Victor Martinez, who has extended his hitting streak to 14 straight. Well, Ortiz has done quite a job since coming on. 7 straight retired. Here's the 0-1. He pitched extremely well, did Ortiz, in spring training for the Texas Rangers and made the team out of spring camp. In fact, Ron Washington told him about 2 days before camp broke that he was going with the big club. There's a swing and a miss, 1-2. And Ortiz admitted that he actually almost started crying. He had tears in his eyes.
It's a dream for so many kids.
No doubt. Here is Rondon warming up still for Detroit. He is going to come on, it appears. And the 1-2. Little looper and caught on a leap by Ian Kinsler. It's a 1-2-3 inning. Ortiz has set down 8 straight.
Here tonight by Doug Fister. Good breaking ball today. He threw some outstanding breaking balls. He also spotted some fastballs in very nice areas. And the one thing that he did do in this outing he didn't do the last time, he kept the ball out of the middle of the plate. He was able to get in on several of these Rangers hitters this evening, whether it be right-handers or left-handers. They had a difficult time of really busting the game open against Doug, although they did have some traffic on the base paths tonight.
That they did, but in the end, as you mentioned, it is a quality start. 2 earned runs in 6 innings of work. He will turn the baseball over now to Bruce Rondon in a wall-side windows pitching change.
Well, need a clean inning out of Rondon. There is no doubt that he has the stuff to pitch up here, but they would like to see him go about his business a little bit more efficiently.
He's allowed 4 hits, 2 earned runs in his last 4 2/3, a couple of walks as well. Ian Kinsler leads it off. And he pours in a fastball at 99 for strike 1. Kinsler, Murphy, Cruz in the Texas 7th.
Kinsler, real good fastball hitter, but it is awfully difficult to turn on 99 when it's located in the right area.
Secondary pitches, though, as good as that fastball is, will be key for Rondon.
There was some nice separation on that slider at 87 after the first pitch at 99. That is 12 miles of speed differential, which is outstanding.
And the 0-2. Breaking ball, got it. Throws him, and down goes Kinsler, 1 gone.
First pitch fastball at 99, and then back-to-back sliders located beautifully, and to get his first punch out of the evening. According to Fox Tracks, you can't throw a better slider and located in a better area.
Murphy checked his swing, but he went. 0-1. An 0 for 3 night for Murphy. All 3 of those at bats against the starter Doug Fisker. Here's Rondon's 0-1. Bouncing ball first base side, foul. 0-2.
Tonight, perfect night for Rondon to concentrate and work on all of his pitches, whether it be the changeup, the slider, or that fastball. He threw Murphy a changeup there that had him fooled and out in front.
I still get a kick out of the 90-mile-an-hour changeup. The 0-2. Little chopper back up the middle. Santiago will backhand it. Murphy is out. 2 gone. We remind you that Tuesday baseball's greatest stars gather in the most exciting city in the world for the biggest event of the summer. Baseball's Midsummer Classic returns to New York. Home field advantage for the World Series is on the line. It's the 2013 Major League Baseball All-Star Game live from Citi Field in New York. Tuesday only on Fox. Cabrera will be at third base starting that game. 2 outs now for Nelson Cruz. Fouled away. For 2 for Cruz. He has a walk. Now the 0-1. Right down the middle at 99. 0-2. Tipped into the glove for strike 3.
Rondon threw 9 pitches and threw 9 strikes.
You wanted a clean inning. You got it. 1-2-3 frame with a pair of punch outs. Tigers on top of the Texas Rangers. Mario and Rod back here at the ballpark having some fun tonight because the Tigers offense came out and they scored 7 runs early, and that was good for Doug Fister to get that early offense going.
No doubt about that. When you have Jackson and Hunter starting out the game the way that they did, each guy has a couple of hits today. Each guy's touched home plate a couple of times. Miggy's driven in a big run.
Fister, meanwhile, had that 30-pitch inning, but he was able to pitch through that and turned in a quality start tonight for the Tigers.
You know, he's not quite where I know he wants to be, because we have watched Fister for the last couple of years now, and we know that the best is yet to come, because his second halves and his first 2 years in a Tigers uniform have been really second to none as far as quality starts and strikeouts to walks, not giving up a lot of hits.
Yeah, his numbers in September have been really, really good in his time with the Tigers. 0-2 the count on Cabrera, and he takes the ball down low. Fielder waiting on deck. Ortiz is still out there. Came on in the 4th and is getting them into the 7th. He is not allowed a base runner. 8 straight retired by the left-handed pitcher for the Rangers, Joe Ortiz.
He has done what so many pitchers do. They're able to get ahead of Miguel, no balls and 2 strikes, and then they start picking on the corners and throwing balls out of the zone, and now the count stands 2-2, and Miguel has seen a couple of extra pitches.
Swing and a miss. Boy, Ortiz on a roll. That is 9 straight retired by the little lefty.
Scouting report was dead on Ortiz. He loves his changeup. And it is a good one. Miggy said, wow.
Tipping the cap out to Ortiz.
He will do that. If you get him out with a strike, he'll show you some respect.
Prince fouled it back. Prince was the first batter that Ortiz faced, and he tied him up and struck him out back in the 4th.
Yeah, he got Prince with a real good slider.
Bouncing ball, that'll go foul, first base side. 0-2 on Fielder. The Tigers have 10 hits in this game, but the majority of them came in the first 2 innings when they put up all 7 of their runs. Johnny Peralta has had a couple of hits. One ball, 2 strikes. Here's Victor on deck, and yes, he has extended his hitting streak. Ooh, that one just missed. Pierzynski held it there but did not get the call. 2-2. Off the end of the bat toward third, Beltre. He's not going to have a play. Prince Fielder legs out and infield hit. His second hit of the night.
Get the stopwatch out.
Beltre was laughing at that one.
It's amazing how much fun these guys have playing.
Couple of little choppy steps going. And he beats it out, an infield hit. First hit the Tigers have had against Ortiz. Here's Victor. Hit for a strike. 0-1 on Martinez. Bases loaded, walk to drive in a run in the first, doubled in a run in the second. 447 over his 14-game hitting streak. Driven to center field on a line, but it's straight at Martine. Hit it hard, but right at him. 2 gone. Now Peralta. Well, you got to tip your cap to Ortiz. I mean, he came in after the injury in the 4th inning by Grimm, and he has kept this a 7-2 game. Johnny skies one of the air. Shallow center, Martin under it, and that will end the inning. No runs, an infield hit. 7 in the books. Tigers baseball presented by Bell Tire.
Brought to you by Head and Shoulders, and what an inning it was for Rondon. He threw 9 pitches. All 9 were strikes. He got Kinsler with a slider, and then he threw a fastball at 99 right by Nelson Cruz. You deserve to smile after that, young man.
So it's 7-2 in favor of the Tigers as we go to the top of the 8th inning.
Ortiz has retired 11 of 12.
Pretty good.
3 2/3 innings he's pitched.
Just what Texas needed. Here is Beltre to lead things off as we go to the 8th.
Last chance for him to extend his hitting streak.
We hope. Right to the third baseman. Cabrera throws him out.
What do you have, a 13 gamer?
Yes, he did. But he is 0 for 4 in this game. Couple of grounders, couple of fly balls. Here comes the skipper. Drew Smiley, the left-hander, is good to go, and so he will come out of this game.
10 pitches, 10 strikes for Rondon.
About as smooth as you can ask for. 4 up, 4 down.
Going to get standing on.
7-2 is our score. Brought to you by AT&T Uverse TV. Check availability at 1-800-PICK-ATT. Rethink possible. Tigers have a new pitcher now. It's the left-hander. Rondona's out of the game, and Drew Smyly is in.
And Jim trusts Smyly a lot these days. As a matter of fact, he will probably turn the 8th inning over to Drew Smyly, maybe the 7th on occasion. And why not? Those numbers are tremendous.
A whip of 0.96 for Smyly. Pierzynski stands in with a homer and a single on his resume tonight. Two out of three for Pierzynski. The 0-1 pitch is pulled on the ground and through. It's another hit.
Have a day, AJ.
Did you mean to rhyme that?
Sort of.
Did you? That's going to be the 9th hit now for Texas.
When the club was in Texas and Pierzynski was on the disabled list, he said he was hating it because he says he loves competing against the Tigers. Always have a really good team, and the games were always competitive when he was playing for the White Sox.
Here's Elvis Andrus. Ball low to Andrus.
He just doesn't seem right in that 6th spot in their batting order, does he?
No, and that's kind of why I brought it up earlier. Looks like he's just much more suited at the top of the lineup.
And I've watched him take a couple swings here today, and he's looking like he's trying to play big boy baseball, whereas he's the table setter kind of guy. He runs, he hit and runs, he steals bases, he bunts.
Now the 1-1. Chopper back up the middle. Johnny has to wait for it. He'll get one out, and that's it. 2 outs. Hey, this Saturday the Tigers are battling these Rangers at 7:15. All fans are invited to stick around and enjoy a fabulous postgame fireworks display. For tickets, call 866-66-TIGER or visit tigers.com. Guess who's on the hill tomorrow?
Max going for 14 wins and no losses to start the season.
What a start it has been for Scherzer, who is on his way to the All-Star game and perhaps on the bump at the start of the game as well.
Heard Max talking about this Texas Rangers offense before the game. He knows he will be tested tomorrow. He says they have a good team, good balance. They've got power, they've got speed, they bunt, they run. It's a well-balanced offensive attack.
Will be his final challenge prior to the break.
And hopefully it's his final start until Tuesday night in New York, where Jim will have the honor of possibly giving his starting pitcher the ball first for the American League.
One ball, one strike on Mitch Moreland. 7-2 Tigers. We're in the 8th. Swing and a miss. One for 3 for Moreland. A couple of fly balls to center field his last 2 times up. Smyly trying to shut her down here in the 8th. Runner goes, and a swing and a miss struck him out. Tag play to record the strikeout. Moreland is gone, so are the Rangers. Here comes the bottom of the 8th. 7-2 as we go to the bottom of the 8th. Tigers' first inning was a biggie. The first 6 hitters reached base. They scored 5 times. Victor extending his hitting streak to 14 consecutive games. Doug Fister, another quality start. That would be his 13th of the year. Rangers going back to the bullpen here as we travel to the bottom of the 8th. Tigers trying to win game 1 in this series. They're well on their way. And Wilmer Font is on now for the Texas Rangers.
Wilmer's got a good arm. Fastballs will get up to 96 miles an hour, and the majority of the pitches that he throws are fastballs at a velocity in the mid-90s. Also a slider and a changeup. Real good numbers in AAA. Had 11 saves and a 1.27 ERA in 30 games in the minors.
So Font's in. Ortiz is out. Dirks is the batter, and he takes a strike right at the knees.
Nice work for Ortiz. Retired of 11-12 when he came in relief of Justin Grimm.
Dirks waves and misses.
And he's kind of battling it a little bit right now. Can't quite put my finger on it, but a little tardy on the fastballs, a little in front of the breaking balls.
Here's the 0-2. 95 there, and he was tardy back into the seats. Wilmer is only 22 years old. He goes 6'4", 230.
One of the youngest pitching staffs overall in the game. They've got some veterans at the back of their bullpen, but by and large, the front of that bullpen is young, and their rotation right now is young until they get some of their guys off the disabled list.
Ortiz, 22. Font, 22. Their left fielder Profar, 20. Some youngsters out on the field for Ron Washington. And the 1-2. Bouncing in, 2 balls, 2 strikes.
Ron Washington not going to the All-Star game this year, but back in 2007. And when Jim Leland was the manager of the American League squad back then, he took Ron Washington with him. And Wash had only managed about 2 months in the big leagues.
Flare down the left field line. Profar in foul ground, 1 away. Once this one is done, you want to stick around because we'll talk all about it. We'll bring you all of the highlights. We'll hear from the skipper, and that, of course, is on Tigers Live from the Call Sam Studios coming up after this one is complete. You can catch it right here on Fox Sports Detroit. Joaquin Benoit heating up in the Detroit bullpen. You never want to say a game is in cruise control, but it's kind of been that way most of the night for Jim Leland and the Tigers. They got out to a 7-0 lead. 7-2 right now. Avila looks at ball 1. Avila was part of that 5-run first with an RBI single to left field.
Especially when you're going up against a team like the Rangers, who really have no problem winning games on the road. They have 26 road wins this year.
And as Leland is always fond of saying, it doesn't really matter what the score is. You are never totally comfortable in that dugout. And Gene, over the years, along with Jim, have seen a lot of weird things happen. Gene Lamont, of course, his right-hand man. Ball high. 3-0 the count on Avila. Santiago waiting on deck. Here's the 3-0. He lost him, ball 4.
Jim's first 6 years as a manager here in Detroit, he had no bench coach. Gene Lamont, of course, was coaching third base. But when Gene decided to go in the dugout, now a bench coach. Has Jim ever talked about how he likes having somebody in his ear all the time now?
Nobody's asked him, but you know he hasn't been used to that, and you know I think they're such good friends that I was talking to Gene about this a while back. He said, well, you know, sometimes he'll take my advice, sometimes he doesn't, but that's what I'm there for. I don't take any offense if he doesn't do what I think he should do. He is the manager. But it is a bit of a different feel for Jim Leland.
The game is so fast down there. As a manager, you want some people standing beside you like Lloyd and Gene that are watching the situation. Both guys have managed in the big leagues. So nothing gets past you. You want to make sure you got a guy up in the bullpen when they have a pinch hitter coming to the plate.
Now the 1-1. Popped up left side of the infield at third. Beltre. Santiago is out, 2 gone. He's going to bring up Jackson. A couple of hits tonight for Austin. Single and a double and 2 runs scored. Scherzer and Holland get together in the ball game tomorrow night.
Be a lot of sliders thrown in that game tomorrow night. Holland gets a lot of strikeouts on sliders, and Max, and he gets a lot of his strikeouts on the slider as well.
Now the 1-0. Strike on the outer edge. Fox national game tomorrow night for the Tigers. In the air to right field. Nelson Cruz under it, and we shall go to the 9th inning. Texas Rangers, the Tigers are on top 7-2 in this one, and we'll try to put the finishing touches on this ball game. Drew Smyly stays in the game, and he will face Profar to start things off here in the 9th.
And Profar batting right-handed for the first time this evening after a couple of hits, batting left-handed.
Smyly delivers one outside, 1 ball, no strikes. 9th inning is underway. Drew came on in the 8th inning after Bruce Rondon faced 4 batters and got all 4 of them, including the leadoff man of the 8th. There's a strike called, 1-1. What are your early impressions of Mr. Profar?
He's got bat speed from the left side for sure, and we saw that against Fister.
1-2.
He needs some work in left field if they're going to put him out there very often. But Gary Pettis, their third base coach, who has won Gold Gloves in the majors, will make him good enough to where he can play out there. But Ron Washington has to find him playing time any way he can. You're not going to let a 20-year-old sit in the big leagues and get stale.
Yeah, good point. 2-2.
That's why he's played second, he's played short, he's played third, and he's played left, and he's DH'd, which means when he does play, those other guys get a DH day, and whether it be Andrews or Beltre or Kinsler.
Driven down the left field line, hooking, foul. And skitter back into the seats.
There's no doubt if the Texas Rangers want to upgrade their rotation at the trade deadline, teams are going to be asking for Profar.
Well, he came in 1 for his previous 18, but he is 2 for 3 with an RBI tonight. Smiley was walking toward third. He was ready to take a tour of the mound, thinking he had him struck out. He missed, though. Rolled foul. Profar, Martin, Kinsler here in the ninth. Bouncer back up the middle. Santiago ranging right. Profar is out, 1 gone.
Let's take a look at our big boy, big plays of the game. And Torrey Hunter got off to some kind of start. He doubled down in the left field corner after a Jackson double, and he drove Austin Jackson in. Then he singled. And then Torrey Hunter, he had to get creative with a couple of slides, or else he would have been out because the ball clearly beat him there. One at first base, and then this one at home plate. He deked A.J. Presenti, the catcher, as to where he was going to slide outside and reach back with the hand between the legs to get the plate. And a good call by both of these umpires today.
The wily veteran Torrey Hunter.
That's what 17 years in the show will get you.
Swing and a miss, and a big rip there by Martin. 0-2. Struck out his last time up. 1 for 3 tonight, batting .293. 1 gone here in the ninth. Bouncer back up the middle. Here comes Peralta. Martin is out. He dropped it. Martin is not out. Johnny came over, made the play quickly. Prince unable to hold on. They're going to rule an error on the play. On the first baseman. The throw died a little bit in the end, but it was in his glove.
Yeah, Prince should have made that play. He'll tell you that.
1 out base runner. Here's Kinsler. In for a strike, 0-1. First error of the ball game for either side. Double and a walk tonight for Kinsler. This is safely in 10 of his last 11. On the outer edge, 1-2. Here's the 1-2 pitch. Line drive to left, base hit. Kinsler has his second hit of the night. That's going to put 2 aboard now. Here's a reminder to swing for the fences with the new Home Run Derby mobile game from MLB.com. Available on iPhone and iPad. Download for free today. 2 on with 1 out. 7-2 Tigers lead. Here is Murphy. Hitless in this ball game, 0 for 4. And that's a strike on the inside part of the plate. 1 ball, 1 strike on Murphy. Well, you're getting to the heavy artillery of this Texas lineup after Murphy. You got Cruz and Beltre. Brzezinski's had a big night. Hopefully that error will not have opened the door for the Rangers. Lifted back out of play, 1-2. Both sides now with double-digit hits. 11 hits for the Tigers, 10 for the Rangers.
And Drew's mindset right here ought to be throwing something off speed to see if he can get and Murphy out in front of it. 4-6-3 double play to end this one.
Here's the 1-2. Bouncing ball. There's your 4. There's your 6. And he's safe at first base. Oh well. 2 gone.
Good try though.
I'm giving you credit for that.
Little bit too slow.
Just beat it out. And that's going to be it for Smiley, it appears. Skipper takes the baseball. Pitching change here. We shall return. Comerica Bank, a part of Detroit and the community since 1849. Your Metro Detroit Chevy dealers. Visit ChevyDetroit.com. See why Chevy drives the Motor City. And by Wallside Windows, the official window company of Fox Sports Detroit. So the Tigers go back to the bullpen. They lead 7-2 as we play here in the top of the 9th inning. Joaquin Benoit has come on now to try and get the final out. Tigers very nearly turn a double play to end the game. And Joaquin making his 37th appearance. Facing Cruz, who so far tonight is 0 for 3 with a walk. In for strike 1. .22 home runs this year for Nelson Cruz.
Going to his 2nd All-Star game. He didn't even make the home run derby cut, did he?
He did not. Here's the 0-1.
And he has as much power as most right-handers in the game today.
He's behind in the count, 0-2. comes the crowd now.
Sellout crowd.
41,686 on their feet. Swing and a miss, struck him out, and that is a Tigers win. Joaquin Benoit comes in, strikes out Cruz, ends the ball game, and the Tigers take game 1 in this series against Texas. Final score is 7-2 Detroit. We'll be back